For those of you who receive Social Security and continue to find that your monthly benefit simply isn't enough to live on each month, I have a liberating article that I want to share with you in this video that I think you're going to find surprisingly relatable. With that being said, let's get into it. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and for being part of this community. If you happen to be new or if you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and you can join the community with the other hundreds of thousands of absolutely amazing people who are already here. So thank you so much. I truly appreciate each and every one of you, and let's talk through this. So as many of you know, I do hours and hours of research each and every day to get information to deliver to you in these short videos. Well, I came across this article and I read through it and thought, wow, that is incredibly familiar to all the stories that I continue to read down in the comments section literally hundreds of times every day. When I read through it, I thought, this is an article that I definitely want to share with my community. So with that being said, I'm going to bring my wife, Corey, in. She's going to read the article to you start to finish, and then I will catch you again in just a minute, and we can kind of go through it, but I think you're going to find this to be very, very interesting and relatable. So with that being said, Corey, take it away, and I'll see you again in just a minute.
This is an article from CNBC written by Lori Conish. Social Security doesn't even cover my entire rent. How retirees say Congress should change benefits. Key points of the article include: retirement is supposed to be a time to enjoy the proceeds of your working years. For those who rely on Social Security for most of their income, many are just scraping by. And Congress is looking at ways to help change that. It's no secret that Social Security is underfunded, and many Americans are struggling to scrape by on their monthly benefit checks. Now, congressional leaders have raised a key question on reforming the program. Should we vote now or should we kick the can down the road? Says Representative John Larson during a House Ways and Means Social Security Subcommittee meeting this week. Larson, who served as chair of the subcommittee, posed the question to Julian Blair, a Washington, D.C. resident, retiree, and veteran, who testified during the hearing. Congressman, I say we should have voted yesterday, Blair said. The exchange highlights the issue facing lawmakers now that President Joe Biden is in office, with Democrats also controlling the House and Senate. How soon can they address Social Security reform? Biden ran on a campaign platform touting big Social Security changes. Among his proposals in raising the minimum Social Security benefit to 125% of the federal poverty level. He also wants to eliminate rules that reduce benefits for those who have certain kinds of pension income, known as the windfall elimination provision and government pension offset. Larson has also put forward his own proposal called the Social Security 2100 Act, which aims to expand benefits while extending the program's solvency into the next century. Both Biden's and Larson's plans would require some payroll tax increases, particularly for high earners, with the goal of providing bigger benefits to lower earners. To the shame of this nation, millions have worked all their lives, paid into a system, and received a below poverty line check from Social Security, Larson said at the hearing. Currently, 4 in 10 Social Security beneficiaries rely on their benefits for most of their income, Larson said. The average retired worker receives $18,500, yet others receive payments below the poverty line, $12,880, particularly women and minorities. For Americans collecting Social Security who struggle to make ends meet, changes to increase the minimum benefit and get rid of rules that reduce monthly checks for those who have high pension income cannot come soon enough. That includes Blair, who started contributing to Social Security at age 15 while working summers at a tomato factory in Virginia. He went on to serve in the Air Force and Army and fought in Thailand during the Vietnam War. Following his military service, he held various positions at Corning Glass Works. Today, Blair calls Social Security a critical part of my income, but it is still not enough. Though I worked and contributed my entire life, my Social Security benefit is far too low to cover my monthly expenses, Blair said during his congressional testimony. In fact, my Social Security doesn't even cover my entire rent, he said. Thankfully, because of my military service, I have I also receive a military pension, so I do okay, but not everyone is so fortunate. Covering expenses is also an issue for Kitty Rudderman of Queens, New York, who relies on Social Security for the bulk of her income now that she is retired from her career as a legal secretary and administrative assistant. My rent alone exceeds my monthly Social Security payments, Rudderman said. I find myself skimping so much, watching where the pennies go. I have to be so very careful or I will soon eat up my meager savings, which I desperately need to supplement Social Security. It has become even more difficult to get by these past year, with prices for prescription drugs and groceries skyrocketing and Social Security benefits not keeping pace, she said. Getting by is also a struggle for those whose benefits have been reduced by the windfall elimination provision, according to Mary Windermere, a Houston-based retiree who worked in public education for 36 years. Windmeyer started working at age 16 and went on to attend the University of Houston and become a math teacher. Her career led to other roles, including high school assistant principal, director of staff development, and superintendent of human resources. Windermere also worked in the private sector for 21 years. However, the Social Security benefits she earned during the time are reduced due to the windfall elimination provision. She receives less than $120 per month, which goes automatically to cover her Medicare Part B coverage. There are thousands of people with similar stories, Windermere said. Most public servants, including teachers, take less money than they could otherwise earn working in other industries. Now, they face reduced retirement income. We are not asking for more than we paid into the system, Windermere said. We are simply asking for a more equitable formula. Two separate bills sponsored by Representatives Richard Neal and Kevin Brady could help change that, Windermere said. A separate proposal, the Social Security Fairness Act, also has broad support. The Alliance for Retired Americans announced on Thursday that a petition backing the bill has been signed by about 77,800 retirees. The legislation would eliminate the windfall elimination provision and the government pension offset, which reduces Social Security benefits for certain spouses, widows, or widowers who have had federal, state, or local pensions. Admittedly, it may prove difficult to push through a broad Social Security reform bill that addresses all of the issues that programs faces and also draws enough support from both sides of the aisle. Consequently, Representative Tom Reed suggested that lawmakers put together legislation including issues they can agree on now, such as protecting widows' benefits. Rather than waiting for the perfect bill, go with what we can agree upon today, Reed said.
Wow, there it is. Real-life testimony confirming that Social Security benefits simply are not enough. How many of you, while listening to that article, were thinking, hello, I think you're telling a story about my life. Anybody else out there? Yeah, exactly. I know there's a lot of you simply because I see these stories down in the comments section literally every single day. How about that first testimony that was mentioned in there? The guy was saying that his Social Security check doesn't even cover his monthly rent payment. Yeah, I know there's a lot of you out there that can tell the exact same story because, like I said, I see it down below. Many of you are saying, hey, my rent is $900 and I get $815 or, whatever it happens to be every single month. Well, how can you ever get ahead when you're paying more for just your rent than what your Social Security check is giving you? Not to mention, you have many other bills on the table too, right? You have your electricity, maybe your utilities, your gas, maybe internet, your phone service. You need to eat, right? Eating is probably pretty important. You probably want to get some water or something to drink. Yeah, there's a lot of other things. So, like I said earlier, I wanted to share this article with you because I thought this is a really, really good article. There's a lot of really good information here, and it goes to prove, once again, Social Security just simply isn't cutting it anymore. How about the other testimony in there? The person was saying, hey, in 2020, prices have gone up so significantly, my Social Security check, literally, I can't do anything with it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I literally need to watch every single penny. Yeah, that's a sad way to live, seriously. Nobody should have to live that way. That is really, really sad and unfortunate. So, anyway, I wanted to bring you this article. I thought you would find it to be very, very interesting, and like I said, unfortunately, relatable for way too many people. In the article, they mentioned thousands of people can tell this story. Honestly, I want to say millions of people can tell this story. Yeah, I think it's a few more than 1,000. Realistically, I could probably reach out and get 10,000 of you right here on this channel to tell that exact same story. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be that hard to find that many people who can tell that same story. And it's sad, right? Nobody should have to live that way. Anyway, so with that being said, I just wanted to share it with you because it's interesting, right? So anyway, please feel free to go back and check out any of my other videos here on the channel. I hope you enjoy them. Thank you so much for your continued support. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video. And of course, share the videos with your friends, family, and social media. And I will catch you again in the next one. Thanks again, everybody. You're awesome. And I'll see you later.